Also, it looks like the panic is starting to set in a bit for some of Georgia's Democratic lawmakers, the kind of panic that keeps them up at night, wondering if they will win re-election or their next race. Stacey Abrams looks like she's backtracking now, according to a tweet from one Atlanta Journal-Constitution reporter. Abrams' sources are trying to make it clear that she did not want the Major League Baseball All-Star Game canceled in Atlanta. Fox Business commentator Charlie Gasparino says that Major League Baseball's owners were, quote, blindsided by the decision to move the All-Star Game out of Georgia. And then there's the Masters, teeing off at Augusta National today. Dustin Johnson defending his 2020 title that he won just 5 months ago thanks to the pandemic. Now, not one golfer nor one sponsor decided to drop out after the calls to boycott the tournament. This all due to the Georgia voting law. Again, despite calls to move the tournament, it is proceeding. And here's the president of Augusta National.
I think that's up to the Masters. The best way to deal with this is for Georgia and other states to smarten up.
All right, we'll hear from the president of Augusta National in a second. But let's welcome in now Newsmax contributor Andrew Giuliani, and we will talk about his political future in a moment. But let's tee it off, Andrew, and talk about the Masters a little bit. Here's the chairman of Augusta National, what I'm trying to say here, Fred Riley, talking about the calls to boycott the tournament. Here it is.
We realize that views and opinions on this law differ, and there have been calls for boycotts and other punitive measures. Unfortunately, those actions often impose the greatest burdens on the most vulnerable in our society. And in this case, that includes our friends and neighbors here in Augusta, who are the very focus of the positive difference we are trying to make.
Andrew, I know you've played at Augusta National. I worked in Augusta for about 18 months. Sometimes I joke around the longest 18 months of my life, because aside for the couple of weeks around the Masters tournament, there is not a lot going on in that city. Atlanta will be okay. It's going to hurt. $100 million is definitely going to hurt. But, you know, if there were a boycott of the Masters, or if the Masters didn't happen in Augusta, it would destroy that city.
Shut businesses down, and especially after losing really the Masters revenue from 2020, from last year, as you had a very limited number of fans. I think it was just members. You know it better than I do. How many Masters were you there for? Were you there for 2 or for 1 Masters?
Well, you know, growing up there, I think I've been to a total of 4 Masters, but I was in Augusta. I guess I was there for 2 Masters. Yeah, 2004
so you know better
and 2005.
Than anybody. You know better than anybody how much the revenue how much the businesses depend on the revenue for that week. I would venture to say that probably 50% of the revenue comes from the 2 weeks surrounding the Masters and including the Masters. I think what Chairman Fred Ridley said there was absolutely right. I mean, the truth is, there are multiple opinions on this. The left has kind of pushed this as a doctrine. It's just not. I mean, the truth is, Augusta National is standing for voter integrity. I, as a baseball fan and a massive Yankee fan, have decided I'm not spending any of my discretionary income on it. It's not Greg Kelly money. It's certainly not John Bachman money, but at least it's something. Right. You know, I'm not doing it. Until they stand for voter integrity, I am not spending a dime on Major League Baseball. And when they do, we could talk.
And I'm with you there, because the Braves certainly made it easy with the way they started the season for me not to watch anymore. But let's talk for the last couple of minutes we have here, Andrew, about your governor's race. Is that what I'm hearing here? We also heard Lee Zeldin's throwing his hat in the ring. What's going on with you, though?
So I'm strongly considering it. This is something that spoke to Mr. Ruddy about a couple of days ago. I've had a few people that have called me in the last week that have basically said that they've been unimpressed with some of the candidates that have declared or were planning on declaring, and they think that Cuomo is vulnerable and we can win this race. Looking at what's happened in New York, John, and you know this better than anybody, or as well as anybody, being down in Florida. All of my friends are down in Florida right now. All the New Yorkers are going down there. If we don't take the state back in 2022, by 2026, there might not be enough Republican voters in New York for a Republican to win for a generation. There's a really good ring, too, by the way, to Giuliani versus Cuomo. It's kind of like Ali and Frazier. I want to be clear. I haven't made a decision yet. There's a big meeting at the end of the month in Albany with the state chairs and the county chairs. I look forward to that meeting. I look forward to making my pitch. and then making a decision. But being at Newsmax and being a Newsmax contributor, getting to work with you, getting to work with the incredible talent on a station that I have no doubt is going to be rising to being the #1 cable news station at some point here in the near future has been truly an honor.
Well, the feeling's mutual. I have enjoyed working with you, and the question really is, and don't answer this because we can talk about it off camera, but why would anybody who has a promising career here want to go into government? I don't understand, especially go to Albany, but we'll have to have that conversation off the record, I guess. We'll leave it for another time. Andrew, great to see you.
I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess. I used to say I hate career politicians. I'm a politician out of the womb. I try to take a shower to wash the filth off. It never comes off. So I don't know. We're all a little screwy.
Well, sometimes we can't change who we are, Andrew, but we proceed anyway.
Hi, Emma Reckenberg here. If you like this video, there's a whole lot more to see on Newsmax TV. You can watch for free right here on our YouTube live stream and be the first one here each time our experts break down real news. Just hit that subscribe button, ring the bell icon, and stay with us on America's fastest growing cable news channel, Newsmax TV.